Hey guys, hi, good morning. It's me, Nay. Welcome to my station, guys. Welcome to my channel. This is Nay Say POV. It is my point of view. This is the station. This is the channel where pop culture beats history. Okay, guys, this morning's topic is distractions. Now, I was watching the basketball game the other night, the one with the Denver Nuggets. I can't even remember who they were playing against. But what I noticed, ladies and gents, is that on the screen, on the lower chyron, they had stats going across the bottom of the screen, right? Then they had something in the upper right-hand corner. Then you had a big 5280 on the floor of the basketball court. I guess that's the altitude for Denver, right? Then everyone's jersey had about 9,000 things on it. I'm telling you, they have advertisements on the jersey. They have the number. They have the name. They have the various colors. Then, ladies and gentlemen, on the court itself, there were at least, and I'm not even exaggerating, perhaps 10 companies' logos and names. I saw Coinbase. I saw Kia. I saw, just so many things. Not to mention, the crowd is going crazy. You got women with the big titties out, with the big Denver Nuggets jerseys on. You have men with hats, people with flags, waving towels. You have people with huge gold chains and diamond pendants. When I tell you distraction, right? Nay, why are we talking about distractions this morning? Because I don't want you all to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nay Say POV. It is my point of view, but this is the station where pop culture meets history. What do you think this administration is doing to get our minds all crazy? They're distracting us, right? So let's go to the museums, right? You see Orangina, he's targeting the African American Museum in DC. Now, luckily I was able to go to the museum. And yes, it is a place for, I think, every black person to go to. Well, he's trying to distract us by taking out certain artifacts from the museum. Like the lunch counter, I believe it was, Woolworth, where some of the students from one of the HBCUs sat during the civil rights movement. You want to take out a lunch counter? Take the goddamn counter. Ladies and gentlemen, don't get distracted by them trying to remove some furniture, okay? We know the history. Let's keep those stories rolling. You can't take away my voice because I got my tongue in my mouth and I got courage in my heart. Yes. So don't get distracted by that, because let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, just like they're trying to remove, the history of the Triple K, they can't remove the history of the Triple K. Do you know why? Because Pawpaw still got that robe in his basement or in his attic. Yes! History. Please don't get distracted. Let them take the damn robe out the museum. Because Grandpapa, he still got it in his attic. Yes. So please be advised, you're not going to distract Nay. I see what you're doing, right? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's not get distracted by what this government is doing. Because Project 25 has been implemented since the Reagan era. Check this out. Ronald Reagan was an actor. Yes, he was an actor. He ran for governor of California. And as an actor does, they play a role. He won. Yeah, he never won an Oscar or anything like that, but he won the governorship of the state of California. Okay, so in order for him to be the president, I don't know if you know history the way I know history, the way I like history, right? He ran against the Peanut Man in Jimmy Carter, and he crushed him. Yeah, he did. He crushed him. But guess what? He was playing a role similar to Orangina. Yes, Orangina loves TV. Remember, he's a little boy who had no friends, and all he had to do was be in his fantasy in his mind about when I get great, I'm going to do thus and so. So, Ronald Reagan played that role. He crushed Jimmy Carter, and he became the president. But you know what he did, right? He went down to Alabama. I can't think. I want to say Bessemer, but I don't think that's the name of the town. But he went down to Alabama where the civil rights workers were murdered. And that's where he started his run for the presidency. So they have been ushering in racism, Project 2025, separation, us against them. They have been ushering in white men should only be in power and it should only be our way. They have been ushering in black people need to listen to us and obey us since forever. Do not be distracted by Project 2025. This goes way back. Listen, do you realize white farmers are going cuckoo crazy for Cocoa Puffs because they're not getting welfare from the government? Because you know they get welfare from the government, right? It's not Quita in the projects that get welfare. It's white people all over this nation. So these white farmers are going crazy. Have you heard anything from the black farmers? You have not. And do you know why? Because black farmers weren't getting any subsidies. They weren't getting any help. They weren't getting any handouts. They were being told, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And that's exactly what they've been doing. So I'm not hurting. No, black farmers are not hurting as much as white farmers are, because white farmers had the luxury, the comfort of going out there, buying hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment on the government's dime in anticipation of the handout. But Orangina does not give a F. He don't care. So black farmers aren't hurting as much because they've learned from being burned. And so what they do is they buy their junk outright with no note behind it. Don't be distracted by what's going on. Yeah. Don't be distracted by the museums, by subsidies for farmers. Don't be distracted by what you see on the screen on these political shows either. Yeah, because what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, is the reporter, whoever that might be, will ask a question, and this administration will do the abracadabra. Listen, they do not answer questions straight out. The other day, Orangina was being questioned by Stephen A. about what's going on in Harvard, and this dude answered as if Stephen A. asked him a question about Harlem. Let me tell you something. Trump, what he sees and hears from a black man is anything black. You could probably ask him about, I don't know, the queen that died in England a few years ago, and he will say, the Queen of England? No. He'll hear Quita from Inglewood. Because all he thinks about black people is welfare, HUD, Harlem, sports and entertainment. You know, they work for me. You know, he said that about, I think it was either Aretha Franklin or Whoopi Goldberg. But for some reason, I want to say Aretha Franklin. When she passed away, this dude had the audacity to say she worked for me. Because when he had casinos prior to him bankrupting them, she performed at one of them in Atlantic City. And he said she worked for me. No, she did a gig at one of your joints. But that's what he thinks about us. So, ladies and gentlemen, this morning's message is distractions. Please do not be distracted by what we're seeing on television and hearing from this administration. Stay focused. Yeah, get your water. Get your dry beans. Get your rice. Get your dry goods. Get your ammo. Practice your right to the Second Amendment. Yeah. Get your generators. Get your go bags. Get all of your medical supplies, your batteries, your flashlights. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get those utility knives. I want you to get, I don't know, clothing for inclement weather, boots and such. Yeah, masks. I want you to prepare as if you were going to live in a bunker, because that's what we need to be focused on. Don't be bamboozled by these manufactured distractions. They are done on purpose to get us off our game and to keep us confused. My name is Nay. I have something to say. Teach yourself and your babies. I love you, and I'm out. Peace.